I have chosen for this cane Fimo Professional because I was worried that Premo might not keep my lines very straight, and it is a very intricate cane. In the beginning, I will do all the component elements, and that will involve a lot of Skinner blends. As you can see, I'm not doing the Skinner blends exactly in the more regular standard way or a teardrop. I'm doing them my own way. I have two ways of doing these gradient Skinner blends, but I will show you how to deal with very wide Skinner blends. I had to make a couple of them were pretty wide because I had to go fairly large in order to be able to show you what I'm doing. I probably could have gone even a little bit larger, but the problem is that Fimo Professional is kind of firm, and for my hands it's a little bit hard to reduce. Anyway, I have gotten all my colors, and I'm going with them one time through the pasta machine on the thickest setting, and then I'm going to roll the whole thing. And why I had to place them that way, because I want to get a specific lining of colors. Now you see, after I rolled, I pushed in so I could make my roll narrower. And then I'm going to get it again through the pasta machine, flatten it and get it again through the pasta machine, and just keep going like this. And every time it gets too wide, I'll simply roll it back and then push it in to make it narrower. But this way I will obtain a very defined and delicate gradient between the colors. I think that also the fact that I have very cold hands is not really helpful whenever I'm trying to work with the firmer clay, like Pardo or Fimo Professional. As I said, I cannot really work with Kato because I'm not saying that it's a bad clay, it's an awesome clay, but for some reason my pets seem to be very sensitive to the smell, and anytime I'm trying to bake Kato, at least one of them starts puking. So I don't know, even if I bake it in a well ventilated place. Kato is the best clay to use for canes, but Fimo Professional is pretty good too. Now that I got my desired gradient, I'm going to cut and stack, and this time I'm going to go through the pasta machine in length, and make sure when you stack that you stack the colors exactly one on top of the other. You see, I got them one time through the pasta machine. I'm going to cut and stack again until I get a very thin and long strip. And I am going to fan fold this strip, this first gradient Skinner blend that I need for my elements. And this is probably going to be one of my longest videos, you know, that I usually, my tutorials are anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes. But this cane is so complicated that there was no other way. I tried to reduce the time as much as I could without it interfering with the information process. Anyway, after you do the fan folding, you need to consolidate your plug. And we are done with the first element. For the second element, I'm getting like 3/4 of that square and then 1/4. So that would be 3/4 white, 3/4 blue, 1/4 navy blue. And then I'm doing another Skinner blend. Only this one will be folded a little bit differently. I want to obtain pretty much a modified iCat cane, where you have a little bit of lines stacking on each other, where the gradient is. So you see, I am again rolling to make everything narrower and narrower, and then I will do a final roll that I will cut in half. So that I can mirror it. It's much easier to do this instead of having the three-color Skinner blend with the lightest color in the middle, because the lightest color has the tendency to disappear and you keep having to put more white in the middle. So once I do this and I have it at the width that I want it to, I will get with it through the pasta machine on a fairly thin setting. And then you will see, instead of fanning, instead of doing anything else, I will actually be cutting and stacking. And not only that, but I will pretty much randomly change the order of the slices of the sections that I cut, so that there would be a little bit of discrepancy in the way the colors are aligned. And that will be the second element for my large mandala cane. Now the third element, again, is a Skinner blend. You see, I have 2 squares of white, 1.5 squares of blue, and 1 square of navy blue. And I will do with this exactly as I did with the first one. I will work it in the same way by narrowing, so I wouldn't get it too wide. And then once I'm done with it, I will roll it, this time with the white in the middle of the roll. Once you are done with your roll, you need to consolidate it really good to make sure that you don't have any air inside. Now let's deform a little bit the first element. I want, actually, this one has to look like a leaf pretty much. So I am going to slowly shape the ends on each side to come at an angle until I form a curve. And no, if I would have gone with it rolled instead of fan folded, the colors wouldn't have been like this. I wouldn't have been able to obtain the same arrangement of colors at the very end. And then what I'll be doing will be to reduce it so I can, when I'm done and when I start putting the cane together, I can cut it in two. And no worries, well, after this tutorial, I will show you what a beautiful set we can make with all the cane remnants. Anyway, you see that I am reusing the ends that I had cut from that piece. I will be adding a pinch more blue, and I will do another element for my cane. So I added that pinch of blue between the white and the colored part. And this one I am rolling it in a half circle, pretty much. And then I am pinching the ends of the half circle, making it more or less in a diamond shape. And this one has to be reduced quite a bit. Now let's cut the first element in two, and let's get ready to start putting the cane together. First I will have to cut the second element first. I will reduce it a little bit. And no worries, I can still reuse those ends, you will see. And then cut two pieces the same width as the big element. Reduce the remaining some more, and then you'll cut it again in two. And those get also shaped as diamonds pretty much. All the four pieces you've cut from the roll. And yes, if you have problems, you can initially reduce them as a square and then tilt them to get the diamond shape. Now let's reuse all those remnants. So as you can see, I am practically folding those circles in four, so I would get the light on one side and the dark on the other side, and then I'll simply add a little bit more white. And I am making one more Skinner blend. That again I am rolling with the white inside, and this one will be cut in the middle. And now I have almost all the elements that I need, and this is how it's going to look like. Why is this cane so complicated? It's because the central element of the slice is not symmetrically identical, so it doesn't repeat. The central element has to be done separately. All that I need now is some black and navy blue, and that is on the number 6 on my pasta machine. That is a medium thin. For both colors, I'm putting them together, and then I will pass them through the pasta machine again together on a number 6.